Alright guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. In the last video, we were jumping into the Koumei and the Five Fates, which I was a little late to because I'm in western North Carolina and the hurricane came through. Life is getting back to normal. Power and internet is back, so finally able to catch up after about a week and a half off. So today what we're going to do on the heels of Koumei and the Five Fates, I'm just going to swap over to Koumei, and we're going to do another first impression. Obviously, a lot of people have already done this, and I know I still have many older frames I've never tested. Don't worry, we're going to get through them all, guys, but I figured while this frame is new for everybody, might be fun to, you know, kind of be sort of in alignment with what's current. So I have not read about this frame at all. I did get all the parts I needed and got it crafted. So first thing first, let's just jump right in as always. Gonna check out Koumei's kit. Let's see what this little background cutscene looks like. Looking very cool. Does Koumei throw kunai? It's hard to tell.
Operator, Ordis is picking up a distress signal.
That's okay.
Wait, no. It's just the corpus peddling their wares again.
Every 60
Shut
seconds,
off the emergency frequency.
one of Koumei's weapons will inflict random status effects for 60 seconds. So basically there's always going to be a random status effect on rotation with Koumei's weapons. Now, I don't know if that means it's the Koumei specific weapons. I forgot the names of both of them, but I believe I've got all the parts I need. I just need to grind the I don't know what you call it, the thing to get the pearls a few more times to have enough of those to actually get them crafted, which is fine. So we'll find out if it works on normal weapons or if it's just her specific weapons. Let's see. So ability 1, Kumihimo. Weave the threads of destiny. Enemies that touch threads suffer a random elemental status effect. A roll of triple sixes creates threads that inflict one of every status effect. That's kind of crazy. 10x multiplier. The drain's only 25. 10-meter range. 6-second duration. Thread length is 15. I'm guessing maybe strength would increase possibly the thread length. Range, duration, and strength are probably going to be the three, just based off reading about that first ability. So also I noticed that they did kind of a little bit of a visual update on some of the information they give you, and I notice now here that I'm playing on the Xbox, as I'm down here, it's telling you what the button input is for your 1, 2, 3, 4. And see, I would have guessed it was either A, B for 1, 2, XY for 3, 4, or XY for 1, 2, AB for 3, 4. It actually goes kind of backwards from the bottom up to the right. So A is 1, X is 2, right on top of each other moving up, and then B is 3, Y is 4. So yeah, okay, that could take an adjustment, but seeing that actually spelled out without having to memorize the symbols might make it a little more conducive for me to start trying to get in my muscle memory just holding the bumper and tapping instead of cycling with the D-pad. Now, I'll tell you one reason that I do cycle with the D-pad and I'm reasonably efficient at it is one of the shooters that I played outside of Destiny for years and years and years and years since the first iteration was Gears of War. And on the Xbox, you're constantly cycling through your different weapons with the D-pad. So it's kind of second nature. Granted, in this, you know, because it just moves the bar, the selector between them, you know, one at a time, you do have to just tap multiple times. It's not, I can't, honestly, for me, if it were able to be bound to the D-pad that I basically use for nothing else, in lieu of using the bumpers plus A, X, B, Y, if I could just say, you know, left is 1, right is 2, up is 3, down is 4, or pick whatever rotation you want. That would maybe you can actually do that. I'll play around in the controller settings. Maybe I can customize that. But either way, seeing this spelled out I think is really neat. Bit of a digression there. I'm just pointing it out. So ability 2 is Omikuji. Let's read this. Koumei glimpses a favorable future. Precise steps needed to reach it. Complete the challenge to earn a decree. She can earn decrees in the middle of... Wow. Complete the challenge to earn a decree. Unlucky rolls add a debuff, but you can hold the ability to reject the Omikuji. Roll a triple sixes grants a decree without a challenge. Wow. 150-second cooldown. Rare decree chance is 5%. That is kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool. This sounds interesting. Okay. Omamori. Surround yourself with the Omamori charms, each with a chance to have enemy attacks heal you instead of damage you. The number of charms is determined by the dice roll. Okay, roll a triple sixes, grants invulnerability for the duration of your Omamori charms, which is... What does it say? Internal cooldown 3 seconds. I wonder if you can increase that. I'm guessing that it is 3 seconds. Maybe it functions a little bit differently. It's a little tough to say. We'll figure it out when we get in and actually play around with it. And then the 4, Bunaku, wield your foe's fate. Threads like the strings of marionettes. Koumei's dice determine how many status effects foes in front of Koumei will suffer. Roll of triple sixes causes further status effects over time. Extends Bunaku to enemies behind Koumei. Okay, does puncture, 15 meter, 5 second duration, status per enemy, cooldown, the drain. So she seems to be rather highly status damage based, which probably means some of the status related mods are going to be pretty ridiculous on her. Let's just, I'm going to take a minute and read through the tips, guys, but this is sounding like a very interesting frame with a lot of potential for a bunch of different builds depending on how you want to do it. She's got potential invulnerability. She can pull decrees in the middle of whatever she's playing outside of Deviri. Status effects all over the place. This could be a fun one, guys. All right. All right, guys, so I just read the tips. It sounds pretty straightforward. There was some useful information in there that was mostly common sense based on reading about the abilities. They did a really good job in their descriptions on this frame, in my opinion. So let's just go to upgrade first. You'll notice that I have Felarx and Epitaph and Glaive Prime. Let me swap Felarx. Last thing I was doing was Netrocells for the week, so I'm going to go back to my main. I do want to get... gosh, what's it called? Polarization on there, a Forma on this, because I want to open up for my Murmur. I'm wasting points here. I want the Max Galvanized Savvy on both of my setups, so I want to get a polarization that matches. Is that Madurai? Which one is that? Vizarin. That matches that polarity then, because I'm just sitting there. There's another one that I want to put on that Murmur build. And by the way, guys, I've done more work on Dante in the background. It's in an upcoming video. You are not going to believe how incredibly filthy I have him hitting now. We're talking, I have been proccing greater than 10 million damage on enemies while I was in the Netrocells. The highest I saw that popped on my screen was 16,800,000 something. It's ridiculous. Dante is a beast. Neither here nor there. I'm just mentioning. I'm going to show you. It's coming up. But anyway, so I'm going to swap back to my main Felarx. I was using Epitaph with Dante as a primer, and that made his damage go through the roof. So I might consider, because she's so heavily status-based, I may consider rolling with Epitaph on Koumei. Maybe keep Felarx and... but she already procs. She's going to be proccing status effects anyway. Do I really need that? Maybe I should swap it to something like it mentioned for more precision for headshots or headshot consideration. Probably wouldn't make the most sense on my secondary. It would probably make the most sense on my primary. All right, guys, I settled on the Finmore, and again, you can see it's another one where I need to focus some formas and get some stuff built up, but it's hitting okay. This one's pretty accurate, and obviously, once it goes in Incarnate, it's a very nice weapon. So that's what I'm going to use for right now. Just going to set it up, have Viral as kind of the main status in the background. That will be my accurate for headshots, and I can just easily get it into Incarnate if I need, fire rate over accuracy. I think I'll leave the Epitaph on, and I will leave the Glaive Prime on as well. So that's going to be the weapon setup for Koumei. I'm going to take a minute, and I'm going to give her a quick visual customization on her appearance, and then we're going to jump straight into Sanctuary Onslaught for some base level ups here. So quick cut, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished editing Koumei here, and I did I did purchase the helmet that you could pick up. I liked the original one, but this one looks super cool, very ornate. So that's the one I'm going to go with. 75 plat, whatever. I've got plenty. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in and get cracking in a little Sanctuary Onslaught to start getting her ranked and get first feel of how she plays. Oh yeah, that's the ribbon. Kind of forgot about that.
Let's go on the offensive.
Hey, somebody's going to be getting us some fast XP in here.
My Warframe is strong.
That one will be tough to pull off while... I think somebody told me that that's Mirage that leaves behind these little swirly things. That I don't know what they are, but they just melt rooms. Which is totally fine. Oh, no, that's somebody's summons. And I'm totally okay with that. We're already up to 7. Yeah, her strings are pretty neat. I mean, they spawn, they're going to immediately... Yep. That is pretty cool. We can just hang out in here. It's totally cool. Yep. I know it's tough to get a real sense of how they function when all the enemies are just immediately down, but it's totally fine. We'll just cast that there. Alright, now we've got this one unlocked. Let's find a good group of enemies first before we cast this. So we can get a better sense of exactly what kind of damage we're talking. Wow. She dumps so many statuses. That's just nuts. I'm kind of astounded at just how many statuses are popping up while you're playing with her on this one ability. Alright guys, so I've got her up to 18. I do want to hop back in here and reread her 3 specifically one more time. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's possible invulnerability. That's the decrees. That's the crazy status effects. And that's the suspend plus status effects. Okay. I got it. Alright, so I am going to do a quick cut. I'm going to finish ranking her up outside of recording. And then we'll jump back into some more testing. We'll go for some real-world practical application. Get some upgrades on her, get her potatoed, all that good stuff. So, quick cut, and we will be back, guys. Alright, guys, we just hit max rank with Koumei. Did not take long at all. I'm going to jump back in here, and we're going to throw a potato in. Getting kind of low on reactors. Okay. So there's kind of a lot that I was thinking would be really good on her. Definitely want to stretch because she can have the potential to pop so many different status effects based on the way her kit functions. Almost anything that gives you a boon for a status effect seems like it would be a pretty good call. I could get Archon Stretch. That would restore if Electric pops up. What I think for that one, I think I'll skip the Archon version. I think I'll just grab a standard Stretch that will give me slightly more range. Well, actually a fair bit more range. But, you know, with the perk on that one, because it's such a crapshoot and it only does, you know, +2 over 5 seconds, I think I'll skip that. I think regular Stretch is the right call. Transient Fortitude for some base ability, strength increase, Archon Intensify because she can potentially heal herself with her 3. The Archon Continuity in lieu of regular continuity because there was a chance that in the midst of all of her statuses, Toxic could pop up, then you get Corrosive as a bonus. Archon Flow, same thing in the event that somebody gets killed by cold when and if it pops up. I thought about Primed Flow, but I decided that the perk on that is decent enough that I kind of would rather just have this one. I've already got her energy up to 602 now anyway, so it's not super, super low. Let's see. We're going to keep regular Archon Intensify over regular. What I would like to do is get a little more ability duration if I could. Is that continuity? Is continuity? Archon continuity? Yeah, I've already got that on. What else could I possibly do? Blind Rage for more strength. Streamline would probably be pretty good to have on here because she is casting relatively frequently. So let's just drop the cost a bit. What's that drop her 1 down to now? 17.5? Yeah, that's nice. Yep, the drain on Omikuji is lower. Onamori, yeah, of course it's lower across the board. After having played with her around in Onslaught, I do like her kit, but the obvious answer to me is if you were going to subsume, or rather overwrite one of her abilities, the 2 is the obvious slot. It is very cool to be able to get, you know, these side bonus perks, like the Decrees and Deviri, but having to stop the focus to do the specific thing it's telling you to do makes it take more time. So I think something that maybe would just work well with her kit that you don't have to like work on to get proc when you're in the middle of playing maybe would make sense. Don't want to do that necessarily, but when and if I do, put a different ability on her kit, I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be the 2 ability that gets subsumed off. Let's see, what else do I want to do on here? I'm kind of liking where she feels right now. I wish I could get a little bit more duration on here would also be nice. How long does that last now? 15 seconds? That's not bad. Yeah, 1.8 multiplier, so that's got to be coming from strength. What's the duration on that? 25 seconds, that's not bad. So really, frankly, duration would just increase her 1. Maybe she's sitting reasonably okay with that 25% bump, because I'm not unhappy with the duration on any of these. And the way her kit functions, it's not as critical as, say, I feel like it would be on some others. Let's see. If I threw in some more strength, say I threw on Blind Rage. All right, we've already got Archon Intensify, and we've got Transient Fortitude. What if I throw Blind Rage on in the mix as well? Does that increase thread length 21.75? It does not. That must be based off of range and not off of strength. Let me take that off and look at it again. 21.75. Yeah, is there anything else I have that would possibly increase range? I don't think so. I don't think I have. I'm sure that there is a corrupted mod that gives you a bonus range for negative something else, but I don't have it. If it exists, I don't have it. Yeah, you know, I don't hate Amar's Atrid for her. That would give another bump to strength. It really does put the multiplier up quite high on her abilities with her strength increase, the heal multiplier as well. Yeah, you know what? I'm really not mad about this current setup. It definitely could be better. Get some formas on there. I would like to see if I could do a little vault grinding in the background this week to see if I can get a corrupted mod to drop that does do a range bonus. That would be really, really nice to have. I think that would work well in a lot of my different kits. If it exists, I don't know if it does. I'm just assuming that it does, because there's positive, negative on basically everything you can think of. I have a positive, except I don't have a positive range with a negative whatever. Maybe it would be positive range, negative strength. I could counteract that with an Archon Shard. Speaking of Archon Shards, I feel like there are so many that could be really good on her, especially with the way that she functions with all of her possible ability procs. Let's see where I'm sitting on Archon Shards right now. I'm out of reds, because I converted my 3 Crimsons I picked up today during Netracells into a Talforge to throw into Dante. So I've got 3 Talforge Reds on Dante, along with his casting speed buff. I haven't decided yet what I want to put on his final, but right now he's hitting like an absolute dump truck. Let's see. I started building more of these because I was thinking of my Sarin Prime, but because I was focused on Dante first, because I use him the most, in lieu of making some more oranges for the Mesa Prime build I was working on, I decided to focus my Dante first. I just use him more. I have, since I got him kind of sort of even started to be built up, I use him even more than I do Rhino. And I still love Rhino, but Dante is just so stinking useful. But yeah, looking at all of these different shards, I mean, gain primary electric damage, gain additional 10 per Crimson, Azure, or Violet. Interesting. So I could use one of those mods where, hey, if you get shock damage, then it throws you back energy per second. I forget the specific mod. I think it's an Archon mod. And then throw some of this to guarantee it'll proc so long as I'm using my primary. I mean, there's so many ways to do this. I don't even know where to start with her because she can possibly proc so many different statuses. I'll have to think about this. I mean, her casting speed doesn't take that long. Maybe I could argue throwing a Tau Forged Amber on there to make her, I guess, 4 at least come up a little quicker. Her 1's pretty stinking quick. I mean, I can't even imagine a need for it to come up any faster. The 4's a little slow, but it's not really a big deal. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe strength. Duration? I don't really know. I wish I could get range. I wish there was an Archon shard that you could throw in that gave you a little range boost. I guess maybe that would be too easy to make it too OP. At any rate, guys, that's where we're sitting right now for Koumei. That's kind of where my thoughts are after having just used her a bit. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump in and just jump into something normal. As normal can be, I guess. I don't want to jump into Sanctum Anatomica with her. What I might do, let's just roll to Zariman. Let's just go to the Chrysalith. Let's say busy. I'll leave it in public, and I'll just pick the 3rd Zariman bounty that has a chance of dropping Lanthorn, though obviously doing Netracells, that's arguably the best way to get them. Now that I started doing that every week for the past few weeks. So what I think I'm going to do, let's just fast travel over to Quinn. Argazine canisters, Void Armageddon. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's just pop in. She has a cool looking frame, gotta say. I'm already liking her with very limited use.
Come to the oral works. Unseal only those requiems you are authorized to recite.
Oh no, nothing went wrong.
Reliquary ahead. Exodamper's blunt enemy capability. They'll target them first.
Was that
You
deploy
got some
armament?
Argazine? Go build.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what that thing's about up
They're
there. It
throwing
looks
more
like
losers
something
at you.
you should be able to interact
You'll
with,
need
but
Argazine. I'm sending you a canister now.
I guess let's just run down here and get the canister real quick. "15 enemies during wall latch." See, not that that's hard to do. It's just, you know, having to focus.
Armaments in position. Defensive ordnance complete. Took down an exodamper. Getting stronger. They're hitting an exodamper. Hit them first.
Alright, looks like we have to get back to B. A Ravenous Void Angel, alright.
Reckon you could use more Argosine?
Okay. All right. That looks like that's busted.
Reading Void Angel's signature. Heading right for the reliquary.
Guess it doesn't matter. We'll just head up and go for this Void Angel.
The angel is trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop.
That was super fast.
That's the way. Break it down, body and soul. All the fighting down there in Aura Works is
Beautiful.
one hell of a useful distraction.
All right, so one Void Angel down.
Or hold out
Yeah.
for more.
I'm gonna extract personally. I don't need to plume farm. I was just trying to test Koumei in some more real-world scenarios. Yeah, she seems pretty good.
Protect your exo dampers.
I like her kit. Her status ability and the ability to get them to come out in her kit is just actually a little bit insane. Feels really, really good to use. It's rather fun. It's a useful kit. 4, does a little bit of damage, but that status proc and keeping them, held in place, that's a pretty big perk on that in and of itself. The 2, I think, might end up being ability that gets subsumed off. 3 is quite nice. Have the ability to heal. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, and we got some Lanthorn in there. That's great. Not the 3 from the bounty. We just found some in there. Okay, cool. Not bad. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna back out. Whoops. I think I might have just missed something. Is that from a buddy? Is that if you beat a ghost kid to the plume, they start going to the... Oh, really? That's actually interesting to know. Interesting. That must be how we got so many of them there. That's awesome. Cool tip. Thanks, man.
Come on.
All right, so yeah, we're just going to leave the Chrysolith, guys. Not going to be a super crazy long video. I know oftentimes on these first impression reviews, I end up jumping all over the place. I had a pretty good bit of thoughts on here, but she is a good kit. My first impression, I like her a lot. Just the statuses that she can pull are just kind of crazy, and the statuses, are really, really strong in this game. Frankly, especially if I started setting up, say, how is my Fenmore set up? I should probably have. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get some other stuff on here, but if I could get something like what's the name of that? It's for melees. I was thinking of Condition Overload. This could be stupidly strong, swapped on with Koumei. Just because she's constantly got different statuses procced on enemies, that could make whatever melee you use with her just stupidly strong. And yeah, Glaive Prime's already okay. And, I don't have the best build set up on it, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's not great. Really high status chance on this as well. Not bad crit. I mostly do charge throws. Bounce if it bounces around. Yeah, I set this up to have a lot of different possibilities of popping various status effects. If I could get a condition overload on here as well, I don't know what I would want to swap off. I guess I could take focus radon off. That would undo a little of my heavy efficiency. Oh, I've got this set up like an idiot. Anyway, let me move that over there. Let's put volatile rebound down there. Leaves me with 15. There it is. Okay, yeah, that took a little damage off because of the radiation. Not that it had the highest chance to proc anyway. But on Koumei in particular, this could be crazy strong. We'll find out. We're going to play around with it, guys. We're going to play around with it. So that's one thing that I will test. Yeah. That would be a good one too. What does I have? Is it True Steel? What's the one that's the wind up? Is it Killing Blow? Yeah. Melee damage on heavy and heavy wind up. I could also do crit plus heavy wind up. What else might I consider taking off of this? Base melee damage? I don't know if that would be worth the trade-off or not. I'm not really sure. Status chance is already pretty stinking high on this thing. I guess I could take the status chance off, throw it up, throw like an amalgam organ shatter. But I would need some more points to fit with that polarity. Let's see. Is there anywhere else I can come up with some points? Let's move that. Put that down there. Move that over there. Crit multiplier's even higher. That does drop the status chance a little bit, but that makes the wind-up speed even faster and even higher crit. I might play around with that, guys. We'll still play around with the glaive. I haven't finalized kind of where I wanted to set it, but obviously we're going to have to test her out in Steel Path in the next video. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be my stopping point for the day, guys. I'm still going to play around with some different stuff in the background on the setups, but this is at least going to be kind of where I intend to go with it from here as I play around and tweak with it in the background. Archon Shards could take me a while, but we're going to leave it at that today. So my first impression is I like the frame. The statuses alone really kind of set this one apart from all the other frame options because she's just guaranteed status effects. Now, you can't pick and choose, but, I mean, status, and then just set everything else up in your kit around the fact that she's constantly going to have statuses coming and going. She does feel really, really good. I think Steel Path is going to give me a better sense of what I want to do with her, if my build is on the right path or not. But my first impression is very fun frame, and I can see this one being particularly strong if I can get it set up just right. But yeah, guys, fun to pull out a new frame. Nice to not be super far behind everybody else when a new frame dropped. But I like this one. I like it a lot. I think it has a lot of potential. So we're going to keep playing around with it, see just how strong we can get it. And in the next video, we're going to run her through the paces in a Steel Path test. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video. As always, I do sincerely appreciate you checking in, and we will catch you on the next one.